So when we're born, it's part of life. When you look around, it's everywhere. I think it feels really daunting to stop. Like, it's difficult to look at Albert Hein's big meat section and say, if I stop, problem solved. Like, I think it needs to be systematic. I feel like you kind of need to be careful on who's oppressing. We benefit from oppression as meat eaters and say, yeah, of course. If there were a nice farm, and on that nice farm, animals live good, happy lives, and towards the end of their lives, we then ate the meat, would you be anti that?
What's your name?
Max?
Max, nice to meet you. I'm Chip.
Nice to meet you. Sorry, sticky.
No worries. Okay, so Max, how do you feel about oppression?
It's a bad thing.
It's a bad thing. Okay, love it. Do you think that the powerful should have the right to oppress the powerless? No. Even if it benefits them, and by them I mean the powerful.
Probably no.
Okay. Even if the powerless, they don't realize that they're being oppressed.
How do I not realize they're oppressed?
They maybe are intellectually challenged or something. I don't know. Maybe the oppressor is just so intelligent that they can't comprehend how they're being oppressed. But they are.
Is it possible to have the oppressed majority that none of them realize?
I'm not talking about majority here, right?
Okay.
I can talk even about individuals, like two people being oppressed, right? We're talking about oppression, like just because if somebody has power over somebody else,
Yeah.
should they have the right to oppress them?
No.
No, okay. And even if the other person doesn't realize that they're being oppressed,
It's still wrong.
it's still wrong, okay. And even if the powerful, the oppressor, they've been doing it for so long that they can't. It's hard for them to stop.
We can help them stop.
We can help them stop. Okay. Do you think that the oppressor has the moral obligation to stop oppressing?
Yeah.
And do you think that if you yourself were to find out that you are oppressing, would you see it as an obligation to stop?
Yeah.
Okay. Then my final question. Well, how do you feel about the animals that we force into slaughterhouses for us?
Shocking.
Are we oppressing them?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you consume any animal products?
I do.
Okay. And I'm not judging here,
No,
but like,
but it's a double standard.
yeah. Like, what would get you to stop oppressing animals right here, right now? I don't. In the past, I understand what happened.
Yeah.
But going forward.
Like, I've dabbled with stopping. Like, I think whenever I watch something particularly informative, that makes
Yeah.
me go, I should stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably ease. I don't like cheese.
Okay.
So that's a big, like, not eating me annoying cheese.
Okay.
I'd be limited quite a lot. So I know it's the morally right thing, and I imagine in the next 5 years I will be moving away from it. Yeah. I recognise it's a stupid double standard,
But you mentioned cheese, right?
yeah,
Do you know anything about the dairy industry?
I imagine it's also not good.
Yeah. So why do you think cows produce milk?
All for the kids.
For their kids, yeah, exactly. So farmers, they forcefully impregnate them. They don't wait for them to decide on their own, right? They like the procedure is literally somebody they get held by their neck in a contraption that some people call a rape rack. It's pretty bad, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Somebody puts their hands in their anus and injects holds their cervix and then injects bull semen in their vagina. Somebody else has to jerk off a bull. Yeah, this is standard practice, by the way,
Wow,
right?
okay.
Yeah, and after 9 months when the baby is born, what do you think happens to them?
Taken away, possibly killed for more food. Nothing
Taken
nice.
away.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. They get taken away because the milk, we say it has to go to us, right? Not to them. So otherwise they would drink the milk. If the baby is a male, yeah, they don't produce milk, so they get killed from the first day to 1 year. It happens also in some farms that they starve to death because the farmers are not incentivized to even kill them. They just let them starve. But let's say in the best case scenarios, they grow up to a year and then go to a slaughterhouse. That's the best case scenario for them. And for females, year over year, same as their mothers, year over year forceful impregnation until like 6 to 8 years. So this happens to them from 6 to 8 times, depending on the farm and on the breed. And after that, the farmer cannot justify keeping them alive financially because they don't produce enough for them to be viable. So they go to a slaughterhouse. Yeah. And they can live up to 20 years. So they don't live even half their life, 20, 25, depending on, again, on the breed. So is that something you would gladly support going forward?
Well, getting rid of it.
Well,
I mean, I don't like milk or cheese, so that's an easy win for me.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
great.
like it. Okay,
I'm fully back
okay,
on that.
yeah.
You don't have to persuade me on
But this
that.
kind of practice is also happening
It's
for
sport.
meat, right? It's just standard practice, and it's the tip of the iceberg. The reality, it gets so much worse for a lot of other practices, right? So I see you understand that you say that it's unethical and you kind of want to stop, which I applaud. That's great. But I see that you don't understand the urgency in the matter, right? So if you were to replace all these animals that we farm with, I don't know, dogs. Do you like dogs?
I went to Vietnam and tried dog out of principle. So
Okay.
my argument was if I'm going to eat one animal,
Yeah.
I have to be able to say that it's consistent.
Yeah.
So I've tried all sorts, and
What about humans? If there were humans, would you see the urgency in stopping?
if it was consensual.
No, not consensual, because animals don't consent, right?
No. Okay, non-consensual human.
Non-consensual.
Yeah,
No, you would see it as urgent to stop right now,
Yeah.
right? But then, what is it that about animals that makes it seem like not urgent enough? That makes it say it's okay for some animals to die alone until I decide to not oppress
Maybe
them
it's the
anymore?
established norm. So when we're born, it's part of life. When you look around, it's everywhere. I think it feels really daunting to stop. Like, it's difficult to look at Albert Hein's big meat section and say, well, if I stop, problem solved. Like, I think it needs to be systematic.
I understand that. Like, it can seem like, oh, if I stop, nothing's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, you gotta ask yourself, do you want to be part of it, right? Like, if just because others are part of it, a lot of people don't even know about all the practices behind it, right? But like, you know, right now, for example, for dairy, right? So
Yeah.
and it's the same for meat. So you knowing kind of makes you a little bit more culpable in that matter. But it, even in that sense, right? Like, even if nobody ever would stop, wouldn't you say still that you should stop because it's violent towards animals, because you don't want to be violent towards animals?
I think you're making an inductive leap there. I think there's a difference between the oppressor as the person who's killing the animals and the consumer that has convenience.
Well,
and it's absolutely like
you support the oppressor, right? You pay the oppressor to oppress, right?
Sure.
So are you not claiming, like,
But I
are
think
you, do
we
I understand?
benefit because I'm not paying them up front, right? Like I'm not paying them to go do it. I'm paying for the product they've done. If they stopped with the product,
Is there any other way to get that product?
but if I didn't buy it, someone else would.
Well,
If I
not
was-
really, right? Because like you could say that your impact is very little, but it's not negligible. Like, or it's not
pretty
non-existent. It's not non-existent. There is like there's a calculation done that one person going vegan, like
Yeah.
going on a plant-based diet,
Okay.
can save up to 100 animals per year.
Okay.
That's not nothing, right?
Okay.
And even if it's just one animal, you're basically sparing one life, which
Yeah.
for you it would be what, 10 minutes of food. For them, it's their whole life being
I'm
lost.
not disagreeing, but
Okay.
I think the wordplay of oppressor and oppressed is. I feel like you kind of need to be careful on who's oppressing. We benefit from oppression as meat eaters and say, yeah, of course. I think it's difficult when you use phrases like a rack that a farmer uses. I don't think it's fair to put that same weight on a consumer. I think that's different.
Well,
I'm
you
not
as a
saying it's
consumer.
good.
Well,
I'm
you
not
as a
saying it's
consumer.
good, but
Do
there's
you
a
think
different
that?
level.
Do you think that the farmers would do it if nobody would pay them? Do you think farmers do it for food? They do it for money, right?
Yeah.
So if you give them the money,
So does
they
that
do
mean-
it because you give them the money.
So is free range okay?
Well, free range is the same thing. By the way, this is what I
So is there
described.
legitimate free range then? If that existed,
But
would
what
you
I
say-
described to you is actually
Yeah.
biological. It's standard practice across biological. Like, it gets even worse.
So
than that.
if there were a nice farm, and on that nice farm, animals live good, happy lives, and towards the end of their lives, we then ate the meat, would you be anti that?
So if you want to eat a dead animal,
Yeah.
I have nothing against it, right?
Okay.
My problem is I still think it's wrong. Like, would you eat a dead human being? Like, we still see the whole idea. I think it's wrong to see animals as resources just
Okay.
because we can, right? But like, let's say if you like, practically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I don't oppose it, right? Because practically speaking, I oppose the idea that we should commodify animals, right? I oppose the idea that more animals should be exploited, abused, or slaughtered, right? If no animal is being exploited, abused, or slaughtered, and you decide to, like, somebody accidentally hits a dog right now
I'm
with
not
their
gonna run
cow,
over and
and
chow
you
down,
wanna
yeah.
you wanna take that dog home and eat them, I there's nothing I can say about that, right?
Yeah.
Practically speaking, I still think, like, morally there still is some way of seeing that animal as food, as a resource for you,
Mm-hmm.
but. Like, would you, like, let's say if you see a dog being killed, would you see them as a resource, as something, some food for you?
No.
But if you see a cow being killed, would you see that as a resource?
If I saw a dead cow on the road, I probably wouldn't go eat it. No.
Yeah. So I mean, the point of it is rather, let's not take more individuals, bring them to life, exploit them, and then slaughter them, right?
Yeah, I think that's
Because would
agreed.
you want them to be? Would you want
No.
yourself to be in those shoes?
I agree it's a bad situation. I agree we can do our part. I can't help but feel obviously needs to be more legislative. I think the cycle needs to be
But
broken.
can it be more legislative when
Yeah.
when you support the other industry? Like, imagine this, like,
easily be more legislative if they want
How?
to be. By introducing laws. You could do polls
what
on
kind
it,
of
you
laws?
could
Do you think, because laws are not made by what's fair or what's right? Laws are made by what's popular, right? So
Okay.
if meat is popular, if you support the popular option, then you support this
Smoking
industry.
is popular, and they've got rid of that, or certainly they're decreasing that.
Yeah, because
Drugs were
that was-
popular. There was prohibition. They got rid of that.
Well,
they brought it back.
that didn't work, right?
But you can impose laws, and I think if there's a public interest, but I don't know. This is interesting. I'm not sure if this is. I respect you for doing it, especially presumably in a second language. Like, this is unreal.
Yeah, it's a second language.
I'm not sure what this will change. Like, I'm going to leave here and feel bad for a while.
But you don't have to do that. You can stop. You know, like I'm trying to tell you. Like the thing is, I see that you're acknowledging that it's not okay. But like there's like all of us. Like I became vegan, right? And all of us who became vegan at some point we acknowledged that what we do is not good, and then we changed. And it may seem difficult because any change in our life seems difficult. That's the reality of it. But it is not difficult at all. Where do you live, by the way?
Oh, near London.
Near London. Yeah. Oh, like that's
there's a lot of cool places. Yeah, we are leaning more towards that. I just think
plant-based options, right?
I think the zeitgeist is going this way, though.
Say it again.
I think that is where the zeitgeist is going, though.
It is.
I think a lot of my friends are moving towards that way. I think, and sometimes I know that every day is another dead animal. I get that, but sometimes letting it go slowly in the right direction is better than pushing someone in the wrong direction.
Obviously, going in the right direction is better than not going at all, right? I don't disagree with you there. It's just that what I want to stress on is that there is an urgency to it, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Like, because you got to ask yourself, and maybe this is the final question that I'll ask you: how many more animals have to be exploited and slaughtered for you before you change?
I want to give an honest answer. It's really difficult because I think when you buy a food product, it's difficult to equate one strip of bacon with like how many animals. So I think that's a hard question to answer.
Yeah.
This conversation is going to make me think, and that's what I think.
Because like, it should be zero, right?
It should be.
It should be zero, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know what you like. I can't police you going any further, but I can only tell you, like, just to incentivize you a little bit, it is easy to do.
Yeah.
You can get all the protein you want. Taste is amazing, and you can get it everywhere you want, including, and in fact, if you're in Amsterdam, I strongly suggest you try the vegan restaurants.
There's a place around the corner looks pretty good, actually.
Yeah, they're quite good. Yeah, so, like, nutritionally speaking, ethically speaking, environmentally speaking, it's all better for everybody. Everybody benefits out of it. But, you know, like, you alone, maybe you may say you don't make a difference and there's others using these products, but you know, like the Great Wall of China, if you take one brick from it, you don't see the difference, but there's still the Great Wall of China without one brick. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the grand scheme of things, you don't see the difference, but there is a difference there.
That's very optimistic thinking. That's
well,
nice.
And to some animals, it does make a difference. And to the whole thing, you're basically asking yourself, do I want to be part of the problem or the solution? When you do this, you're part of the solution, not the problem. See what I mean? Can I give you some cards to look more into it?
Sure.
What was your name again?
Max.
Max. Nice. It was nice. Yeah, it was nice. I'm Chip. Just let me just tell you real quick what I suggest. Go on this website.
Yeah.
Or scan this or go on this website and type in this code.
Sweet.
And watch the most important speech you'll ever hear.
I'm going to challenge your belief systems today, so certain parts of the speech will be intense.
It teaches you about eggs, about all the stuff you might not know about a lot of it.
Cool.
Just watch that. It may incentivize you. And if you decide that you want to go vegan, Challenge 22, they hook you up with a nutritionist, send you vegan recipes every day for free. You have even personalized help. You have all the things you need there.
That's really cool.
And this is my social.
Yeah.
You have everything you need there. You just got to want it, you know? That's all it is. So you got to make a decision, okay?
Cool.
Don't wait too long because all of us who became vegan, we have one regret in life, and that is we didn't become earlier, because participating in this is nothing, in this violence is nothing to be proud of. Okay?
Cool.
Thank you, Val. Thank you, Max. Have a good one.